have this belief that music videos are like a true art form. And whatever you do in that moment in time kind of gets locked in the culture. You know, it can be something that lasts for years. Like music videos, you have to work super fast. You usually only have like 1 or 2 days, yet you have to deliver like 3, 4, 5 minutes of like the most amazing footage you can. The Weeknd, his visuals are very bold, are very dark, like neo-noir. He loves that strong red color in a lot of his visuals. So that was something, having been a fan of his music videos before, I picked up on keeping it dark, having this like strong accent of red, green as the city night exterior. Our biggest night exterior setup was actually the driving shots. That was very daunting. How on earth are we going to have shots of him driving a convertible? He can't drive it for real, obviously, to be safe. And then we also need to make it look like he's really like racing through and doing some quite aggressive driving using a stunt driver. I had this crazy caravan of vehicles, like one crane on what's called a tow trailer, and you tow the car so that the performer can just not be in control and it just gets towed around the city. So with a crane on that one, and then we also needed to have a tracking vehicle, so like a Russian arm, to film the car driving for real. So we used both of those, and in one case we used them simultaneously to both cast some light on the main talent, and film from the tow trailer at the same time. We used this type of event lighting. It's like a par that is wireless and battery powered, that is used commonly for like weddings and concerts and stuff, called the Aster AX10. The battery will last for hours and it's RGB and you can control it remotely. So we use that quite a bit. More useful for those like action shots, like the aggressive, like blurry shots. Right away, my gaffer was like, we should just use all LEDs since we're going to be outside at night, not a lot of time to do big setups. So with LEDs, you can just go put a small generator in the background with one powering quite a big light, or you have wireless fixtures that you can just stick wherever and control their color remotely. So that's what we did. I love just trying out things that I don't know, because it gives me that like fresh feeling of discovery. I discovered probably my favorite tool of 2019, like the greatest discovery, was the Sony Venice. You can set up that sensor whatever way you want, and you can set up the physical camera body whatever way you want, whether you're doing like a lot of gimbal stuff, or you're putting it in tight places, you're putting it on funky rigs, like you can do it that way, or you can have it in a traditional way with like an ergonomic studio build, being able to choose whatever sensor crop I want, whether it's full frame, super 35, anamorphic, whatever. And then the resolution's always above that 4K number. The 80s look, I think its long zoom lenses had a lot to contribute to that style of movie in the 80s. The zoom lens was like popular, I think. And then also using a bit of diffusion filters. So I think we used a quarter Hollywood Blackmagic or eighth Black Pro Mist on top of these kind of soft anamorphic zooms to begin with. That created that a little vintage look. I think that has most to do with what people are calling the 80s look, I think. Yeah. I've been watching more movies than normal. 12 Monkeys, I think, is a perfect movie for right now. It's very appropriate. It's probably like the best Brad Pitt and Bruce Willis performance ever. there's a virus outbreak that they have to go back in time to avoid. And yeah, it's just a great, appropriate movie. But I was watching Devs recently. It's this new show from Alex Garland. Devs is like, has this very existential theme, nice for pondering life. But yeah, it's like beautifully shot and got a good story. Alex Garland is awesome. I did watch this movie called Anthropocene. It's a documentary about this photographer, Edward Bertinsky, or it's by him. And he just photographs these really surreal human landscapes, as he calls them, like how humanity has like affected the geology of our planet, like with whether it's like mining or urban development, or it's a little bit depressing, but it's a beautiful cinematic documentary. I keep telling myself I should get into animation. I think that's one way to keep working from home. I don't know if I have the patience for it anymore, but I used to do stop motion animation when I was younger. So maybe I should get back into that just as a hobby, but also for filmmakers, if you're inclined, like, do animation. Animation's great. I love animated movies, and I hope that after this, there's going to be some really, really awesome ones. It's a great time to read and write. So yeah, reading is like a way to just experience the world from the comfort of your home, and you remain an interesting person when you come out the other end of it. I have a good recommendation for like at-home film school. The best behind the scenes documentary of all time, I think, is well, no, I don't. It's not the best, but it's one of them, and it's The Matrix Revisited. It's like a feature film that they made in parallel with the Matrix trilogy, shot all on 16 mil. Super in-depth making of film about the Matrix, and then they'd go on to do a full feature documentary about the Matrix 2 and the Matrix 3, and they're so well done. They interview everybody on the team, all of the members of the crew, really great shots of the setups, of the studios, of the production design studio, of the VFX studio. I can't tell you how many times I've rewatched that. I love that documentary.